think we could have a better fixture than this. It's a tremendously hard game for us. If we get anything out of it, it'll be a bonus for us, because they are a great side, they are a great footballing team, and it's a great game for the players to come into after the disappointment of playing Wolves and getting beat by them in the FA Cup.
And Liverpool, of course, knocked you out of the League Cup here. What did you learn from that?
Yeah, well, the big thing we learned from that is that you mustn't make mistakes against them. We made 3 mistakes on that night, gave 3 diabolical goals away, and after 20 minutes found ourselves 3 down, and really you can't give a bad team 3 goals start, let alone Liverpool, who are a great side, and we had no chance. We gave ourselves no chance, so we've got to cut down our mistakes as much as possible.
What about your choice of team today?
Well, I put Martin Peters in, and he's only 75% fit. Tony Powell's out, and I brought David Jones in his place. Hopefully Kevin Reeves is going to be all right, because he's had a hamstring. So our side is a little bit sort of below par because of the injuries and because of having to make a few changes, but I think we'll be all right.
And Liverpool are below par as well. They're without David Johnson, who was injured in midweek, and they're without Graham Souness, who's now suspended. What effect will that have?
Well, I think Fairclough and Lee, who come in, I don't think that undermines the team too much, but I think that they will have a few little problems in just settling down and settling in again, because in fairness, they have had a tremendous amount of good fortune, Liverpool, in being able to name the same side week in and week out, and this is a great advantage, and really Liverpool don't need those sort of advantages, but they've had that the good fortune to be able to name the teams the same team week in and week out, and hopefully that will unsettle them just a little bit today. If it does, we might just catch them on a good day.
So it's Liverpool who get the game underway. Norwich City's 13th home game of the season, and their unbeaten home record presumably under the most serious threat. Jimmy Case, it's Graham Padden, and Greg Downs. Pitch is a bit soft. It's Kevin Bond. Chase for Fashanu. We've got a good atmosphere, and it could well be the biggest crowd here at Carrow Road this season. And an early corner to lift spirits even higher. Justin Fashanu taking a position at the far edge of the 6-yard box from the kicker. It's going to be Graham Padden who will take it. Kevin Bond on the near post. Brown just on the line in front of Clements. Nothing like the height on the corner, and it was Ray Kennedy who put it away. Ray Kennedy this afternoon making his 200th league appearance for Liverpool. Dermot, the player on the near post. Got the back foot that time, there's Peters! So easy! And Ray Clements beaten before he had a chance to touch the ball. Martin Peters, a really very simple header from about 2 yards out. Kevin Bond, his son, having to end that Liverpool attack. Kevin Keelan, 680th appearance. Ryan, Fashanu, McDermott. Fairclough White to the right, that's nice into Sammy Lee, who returns the compliment well. Chance here for Fairclough, and it's in! And the 2 players brought into the side this afternoon for Liverpool combined to get the equaliser. And it was Sammy Lee who fed him, pass and return, Fairclough to Lee, Lee back to Fairclough, who pricked his point and put it wide of the goalkeeper, who got a touch but couldn't keep it out. Referee saying get on with the game, although Greg Downs is injured, still in the area. Two goals inside 4 minutes. And Reeves not too far away from a possibility of a third. Greg Downs, the knock is on the ankle, but it's wearing off, it would seem. Peters is well out from the area. Brown, who takes the position on the line, but Peters, where he was before, will move in. Reeves and Bond for the back flick. There goes Peters, comes straight to him. Well, that's two different positions that he met the header, and on neither occasion was he picked up. Stanley again. Here's Dalglish, Keelan committed. Downs covering the middle. Here's Case. Oh! And Ray Kennedy only needed the mildest of touches to turn it in, but he couldn't find it. Jimmy Case's shot, and Keelan really caught out of his ground. Mendham really catching Ray Kennedy. And Sammy Hansen has taken over. Oh, he saw the gap too, beautifully. Saw a lovely dummy. And Fairclough puts it in! Marvellous goal from David Fairclough. Second goal of the match, his second league goal of the season. But this is the man who deserves the greater part of the credit. His eyes summing up what he feels about it as he's now joined by the scorer. A really lovely run, and it was using Fairclough by not using him during the course of that run that he sold a superb dummy to the Norwich defence and enabled the room to open up in front of him and finally to set up Fairclough for the goal. Okay, looking long for a player running behind the defender. And they've got a corner out of it. Their tactic by Norwich to play the ball early against a defence which is often accused of being a bit square. We're looking at it from behind John Ryan. Brown again on the line. Peters again coming from the back. And it was Bond! And turned off the line by Lee. Bond's flick. And Sammy Lee who got it off the line. That's a good ball. Brown to Bond. Fashanu and Hansen. Mendham. Padden. Reeves! All in the air until it came down to the foot of Reeves. 2-2. Four men involved in the move, and it was looking promising from the moment that Brown started it from a pass out of defence. Final header on, falling to Reeves' foot, who was able to arc it away from Ray Clements. Well, before today's game, the biggest crowd here was for the 3-3 draw with Ipswich on Boxing Day. When the crowd is big, the goals seem to be plenty. Lee again on the run. Dalglish, crowd looking for an offside flag, but he wasn't offside. There's Fairclough. And kicked away by Kevin Keelan. Right on the half-time whistle. And a breathless, very, very entertaining first half, which the crowd have obviously enjoyed. Ends with a scoreline of 2-2. 2 goals inside the first 4 minutes. 2 goals for David Fairclough. One of them from a lovely run by Alan Hansen, and the equaliser from Kevin Reeves from a good move in the air on the right side by Norwich. In the second half, Norwich City will defend the end where they've built this fine new stand here at Carrow Road. The cost of £1.25 million, contains 20 executive boxes, and when it's completed will hold 30,000 people, seated and standing, and will include a squash court, a sauna, and the first licensed pub on an English League ground. So away go Norwich City. Ball with Kevin Bond. Reeves picking up in the air where he left off. Thompson under pressure. Here's Graham Padden. Here's Fashanu. He needed too many touches to work out a shooting position. Difficult for him. but it wouldn't have counted because there's a flag up on the far side anyway. Ray Kennedy to Kenny Dalglish, and the referee says no. Dalglish trying to turn around his man, and the referee says no, and Dalglish looks pained about the decision. There'll be a delay in play because Peter Mendham is in need of attention. John Bond remaining impassive in the stand. And we need a change of shorts, that's the reason for all this. Alan Taylor doing a powerful job there. Peter Mendham seemed to have a knock on the thigh, being carried off. Getting good applause from the local crowd. He's played well. And here's the substitute, Mick Maguire. He thought he might have to come on, put in place of the player he's now talking to, Martin Peters. McDermott. Neil. Fairclough. Dalglish again looking unhappy. Dalglish has only scored twice in the last 9 games. Ray Kennedy. Dalglish and Jones. McDermott, Dalglish. And finally it was Case. Case, whose shot was power and flick at the same time. But what a lovely little ball McDermott played through then to Dalglish. Just trapped it and chipped it forward in one movement. News of Peter Mendham, and I give it as quoted, he pulled a tummy muscle. Fashanu, that's nice, used the long legs to good purpose there, shielded by Reeves. Ryan, chipped up, Fashanu, and Peters! No! It was sprinting across the area, Peters arriving as he does so often, as the ball came across from Justin Fashanu, and just the wrong side of the post. Jones. Maguire. Ryan. Going to use it a little bit better this time. He's gone on. Ball with Bond. Norwich finding it a struggle to build now. Neil. That's nicely back by Ray Kennedy to Dalglish. McDermott far post. Fairclough taking the same ground. Now coming near and scores! It's a hat-trick for David Fairclough. And some good running off the ball. And Dalglish had 2 options open to him. Fairclough and McDermott were for a moment running to the same area. But Fairclough peeled away, took the nearer position from Dalglish's viewpoint and tucked it in, receiving the pass neatly enough to make Liverpool lead by 3-2. And all 3 goals scored by David Fairclough. Score now identical with Norwich's last fixture here. Saw Wolves knock them out of the FA Cup at 3-2. Case is far post. There he is. Peters away. Quarter of an hour of the match remaining, and there has to be a considerable change in Norwich City if they're to save it now. Here's Ryan. Maguire. An offside flag. The substitution because of the injury to Peter Mendham has certainly cost Norwich dear. John Bond now sees defeat staring his team in the face. Ray Kennedy. Hansen. Norwich came back to force a 3-3 draw against Ipswich. Maybe Liverpool are a different proposition. They look as though they've got the bit between the teeth now. And they have, as I said earlier, been a growing force in the second half. It's Fashanu. Bond this way, number 4. Obviously you realise it was Kevin Bond who made the run, and the ball was with Ryan. And here's Sammy Lee! Good challenge by Greg Downs. Thwarting the youngster of the chance of his first goal in senior football. Liverpool supporters certainly making themselves heard, and in confident voice. Downs. Pan. Free kick Norwich's way. Brown has come up. Peters. And the free kick for an unnecessarily harsh challenge, it's seen by Neil, although Liverpool obviously thought that Peters dived. The free kick it is anyway. Peters to take. Fashanu. Maguire couldn't get there. All over the place it was. Downs. Peters. Fashanu. Good save. Carried the ball forward as he dived, and he was able to hold it out from Fashanu's header. Downs. Case in his defensive role. Ryan. Fashanu. Oh! Oh, what a goal! Oh, that's a magnificent goal! Didn't seem to be the room between Ray Clemence's hand and the post. And John Bond still wants to make a defensive point and cover. As the crowd applauds, surely one of the best goals I've seen at Carrow Road this season. Really sweet turn by the tall man, and curling high up, just away from Ray Clemence's hand, and just inside his far right-hand post for 3-3. Well, what now? 9 minutes left. And the home crowd have hope again. Here's Dalglish. And the referee in the way of McDermott. Five minutes left. And Fairclough came from an offside position. Challenge by Alan Kennedy on Maguire. Amazing what a difference a goal can make, but here's Fairclough. Gillen to face him, up, and he catches it between his knees, unbelievable. Well, Fairclough has scored all 3 for Liverpool, and they haven't been enough to win the match for them, but he had the chance then to win it, and couldn't take it. Case. Dalglish in the box in the middle. Here is McDermott. And there's Dalglish! McDermott found by Neil. And the cross only about a yard out. And Kenny Dalglish down on all fours to get the nod in. 4-3 to Liverpool. And Kenny Dalglish, who's complained a bit, hoped a bit, hasn't always got what he thought he should have got. In the end, perhaps has got the winner. There are 90 seconds of the 90 minutes remaining. And John Bond saying everything for Norwich in that expression. What do you have to do to beat Liverpool? He must be thinking. Play on. Here's Dalglish. Here's Case. And Kevin Bond away. And Case allowed to go on and scores. Good decision by the referee, allowing him to continue. And we've come to the 89th minute, and now, for the first time in the afternoon, there is no doubt about which side is going to win. The expressions of the players on opposite sides, very telling. The son's face matching that of his father. 8 goals, some magnificent entertainment, but a very hard defeat for Norwich to take. Further proof of what's becoming an old adage in football: you have never beaten Liverpool or even got a draw with them until the match is finally over. Fashanu, Reeves. Oh, what was Alan Kennedy doing? Ray Clemens looked up at him and smiled. There's the hat-trick man. Ray Kennedy. Hansen. Maguire. Is there to be a 9th? Padden. Reeves. Forced a bit wide. And the answer to my question is no. And 8 goals is surely feast enough. 3 of them from David Fairclough. In Liverpool's total of 5, as against 3 by Norwich City. Really marvellous entertainment, which ends up with Norwich City's unbeaten home record being spoiled by the league champions. Certainly they look the more likely winners in the second half, but just as they seem to have won it through Fairclough's 3rd goal of the afternoon, the brilliant effort by Fashanu tied it up. It looked then likely to be a draw, but it ends up as 5-3 to the team who play right to the last drop. David, your first hat-trick in league football. You certainly took your chance in David Johnson's place, didn't you?
Yes, you got to at Liverpool. Chances don't come by all that often, and when they come, you've got to grab them with both hands. You know.
Which goal gave you the greatest pleasure?
The 3rd, without a doubt.
Why?
Well, it's a highlight of my career. To get a hat-trick in Liverpool's first team in a league game is something I've dreamt about, you know, from a small boy, you know.
You didn't have to come on as a substitute this time to do it?
No, I've had that reputation, and a few people will probably be amazed to know that I'm scoring goals when I'm on from the start of the game.
But if David Johnson is fit for the League Cup semi-final 2nd leg, where does that leave you again?
Well, you've got to sort of show people that you're still around and you can still score goals, and the boss maybe might have a little bit of a problem. I hope so.
Phil, have you got any puff left to talk?
Nearly. It was a hell of a game, wasn't it? Fabulous game.
It was obviously as enjoyable to play as it was to watch.
It was. Well, I don't know about playing. And we let 3 goals in. We're not really used to that. But that 3rd goal was an absolutely the best goal of the season for me.
And at that stage, would you have settled for the point?
Well, no, not really. We're always likely to score goals, especially with Davy Fairclough and Kenny Dalglish up front. Always likely to get a goal. And there was chances going both ends. But we had a bit of a talk in the first half and after the first half. And we let 2 goals in. We got a bit tighter. But, you know, you can't account for goals like Justin Fashion who scored.
Justin, to score a goal like you scored and still to finish up on the losing side must be a bit rough.
Yeah, it was a little rough. I don't think I've felt so bad since the Wolves game when we got knocked out there. But all credit to Liverpool. I've just been talking in the dressing room, and they never believe in defeat or a point. They just keep coming and coming and coming and coming. And all credit to them, they scored another 2 goals, which paid to my little bit of glory.
Just a couple of points, lots of good things in the game, but just a couple of things stuck out. Really, the simplicity of Liverpool's game, the way they used the first-time pass to perfection. This is a move that builds up from the throw-in. It was David Fairclough's and Liverpool's 3rd goal. That's one first-time pass, and that's the other. You can't do it more simply, and you can't do it more effectively. They've carved their way through the Norwich defence with just 2 touches. And from then on, it's relatively simple to finish it off because the defence was just split to pieces. The simplicity of the first-time pass, and also the running power and determination. This is young Sammy Lee, the new one in the side, a young lad, but look at the determination of that run. Not so much now, but now he's on his knees and he's still trying to run to serve the Liverpool cause. The simplicity of it and the dedication to duty. And if I were Graham Souness with that young man in the team, I'd be a little worried about how he was going to get back. First Division news, Bob.
Well, Liverpool are now the only club unbeaten at home this season in the First Division. Norwich and Manchester United both lost that distinction today, and United's 1-0 defeat by Wolves means Liverpool go 2 points clear with a game in hand. Southampton, Arsenal and Ipswich all won and are now only 3 points behind United. Mel Eves scored the Wolves goal, which silenced a near 52,000 Old Trafford crowd. Phil Bowyer, the First Division's leading scorer, got number 21 today with one of Southampton's 5 goals against Brighton. Alan Brazil scored twice as Ipswich won 4-0 at Everton, and Alan Sunderland got a couple as Arsenal ended Aston Villa's fine run with a 3-1 defeat at Highbury. The inspiration behind Arsenal's win was young Graham Rix, who capped an outstanding performance with this tremendous right foot bender from about 25 yards. Rix is obviously the man to take over Liam Brady's midfield role if the Irishman leaves Highbury, and although manager Terry Neal says he's still hopeful of persuading Brady to stay, we know Liam was definitely expected in Italy in a day or 2 for talks with Roma. At the bottom, West Bromwich Albion picked up 2 more valuable points, with Cyril Regis scoring both goals in the 2-1 win over Spurs. Stoke move above Brighton following their 1-0 win at Crystal Palace. Bristol City and Bolton both drew away, but Derby lost at Middlesbrough and had Roy McFarland sent off.
Well, now let's take a look at the fierce promotion struggle going on at the top of the 3rd Division. Last night I saw Colchester beat the leaders Grimsby and move level with them on points. Sheffield Wednesday, just behind them, knew they were to be tested to the full by Swindon, themselves behind on points, but with quite a few games in hand as a result of their success in both cup competitions. Your commentator at the county ground is John Motson.
This is Swindon's 41st competitive match of the season, and they field the side that's made them so successful recently in League and Cup. Their manager, Bob Smith, recently named the Bells Manager of the Month for the 3rd Division, makes the point that league points are a priority, despite the fact that the 2nd leg of the Football League Cup semi-final at Wolverhampton is just 3 days away. His goal-scoring partnership up front is now very well known. Andy Rowland, the number 9, has 21 goals to his credit so far, and at number 10, his partner, Alan Mays, with 24 goals this season in all competitions, is the leading scorer in the country. Sheffield Wednesday are unchanged. They come with the side which beat Bury 5-1 last Tuesday night, Wednesday's best win of the season. Their top scorer is winger Terry Curran with 15 goals, but at number 4 in defence they have their 2nd highest scorer, Mark Smith, still a month short of his 20th birthday, and he's scored 10 goals this season, all from penalties, and has in his sights the penalty record set 8 years ago by Francis Lee, who scored 15 goals from the spot in League and Cup in one season. The referee this afternoon is Mike Bidmead from Chessington in Surrey. This match is full of promise. Swindon in the red shirts and white shorts to kick off have been beaten at home only once this season. That was on Boxing Day, and Sheffield Wednesday in their blue and white stripes, have a fine away record, only 2 defeats in the 3rd division away from home. That's Miller for Swindon, looking for Rowland. Mark Smith, the defender. Jeff Johnson away. Wednesday playing with McCulloch, challenging there, number 10, well forward, supported by Curran. There's Andy McCulloch. Mellor with the throw for Sheffield Wednesday. Here's Curran. Taylor. Sheffield Wednesday have got several hundred supporters over on the far side of the ground, closely packed, lending atmosphere to this important match. That was Curran. So the early flurry by Swindon from the corners, repelled by Sheffield Wednesday, have shown themselves to be very useful on the break so far. Here's Mellor. McHale. Oh, got caught though, 2 against 1. Johnson for Sheffield Wednesday. Good effort. Oh, and Jeff Johnson has put Sheffield Wednesday in front with a fine shot. Well, that's a midfield player really making the most of an opportunity. Having collected the ball when McHale got caught, he went forward and tried that low shot, which beat Jimmy Allen down by his right-hand side. 15 minutes gone, and Sheffield Wednesday take the lead, and that's Jeff Johnson's first goal of the season. Foul given against Pickering. McHale took it. There's 5 Swindon players waiting in a line here. Tucker is still well forward. Kamara picked his way through rather nicely. This is Curran again, though, and again Sheffield Wednesday on the break look dangerous. McCulloch this is. Waiting for support from the middle of the field now. Curran again. Hornsby takes the throw. McCulloch. Oh, here's Hornsby again. That was a good effort by Brian Hornsby. Former Arsenal player who shone in that cup marathon between Sheffield Wednesday and his old club last season. Very talented. Mays. Good pace. Kamara just behind him if he needs him. He's gone outside him now. Still Mays. Rowland. Here's Mays. Oh, a deflection off a defender, I think. Might have been Pickering. It certainly hit a Sheffield Wednesday player. Good 1-2 between Mays and Rowland. Well worked. Corner to Swindon. Well, they've been tangled up so many times, Tucker and Boulder. This time there's a little bit of anger on the face of Tucker as he dislodged himself from the goalkeeper's grip. Here's Mellor. McHale. Swindon have got players to his right. This is Lewis. Giving it away to Mellor. This is Curran for Sheffield Wednesday. Past Carter. Taylor to his right in a very, very good position. This is Taylor. And the shot off target. But it typified the way Sheffield Wednesday have played in the first half. They've punished Swindon for their lax defensive play at times, and they've created openings with 2 and sometimes 3 men up front on the break. Johnson, McHale, Miller back to Lewis. Rowland is up. Oh, here's Mays! Well, for a man who's scored 24 goals this season, he wouldn't have been too pleased with his finishing there. The shot was virtually straight at the goalkeeper, had to be taken fairly quickly, I suppose, but he was in some space. Knocked down to him by Rowland, and Mays swung his left foot, and Boulder was in just the right place. And that action came at the end of the first half, and what could have been a Swindon equaliser passes, and Sheffield Wednesday still lead with that 15th minute goal by Jeff Johnson, which fittingly was their 50th of the season, Sheffield Wednesday, in the league. The blue and white stripes of Sheffield Wednesday symbolise a club of great tradition, but their championships and FA Cups were won before the war, and they dropped into the 3rd division for the first time in 1975. And indeed, Sheffield United there also this season. And that means that for a football city, Sheffield badly needs a lift. So, they'll be hoping to hold on to this lead and keep up their promotion hopes. Free kick to Swindon to be taken by Carter. Appeals for handball against Mellor. It was on the referee's blind side, but the linesman's flag stayed down. Kamara. The Sheffield Wednesday fans are in fact congregated on that far side of the ground, just where the throw-in's being taken, in the background there, and there are many of them too. Lewis well forward, Pickering stretching. Stroud retrieving. Carter following up. Miller's got Mays outside him. There's McCulloch. Tucker wins it, Miller. Challenge was a bit high by Grant. Free kick's been given. Carter's up there, McHale's in there, Williams is there, so is Mays. Kamara's coming in, it's too high for him, but was there a push? Penalty! Grant and Kamara. Penalty to Swindon out of nothing. The ball appeared to be going too high for Kamara, but the referee decided there was an infringement, and a penalty it is to Swindon. So Ray McHale has the chance to put his side level. And takes it conclusively. And McHale will be particularly pleased about that, because he was the man, in a sense, who gave away the first goal for Wednesday. He lost the ball, but he's more than made up for it now. McHale scores his 7th goal of the season and makes the score 1-1. 10 minutes into the second half, and Swindon level. Well, this now boiling up into quite a 3rd division battle. Sheffield Wednesday played so competently for so long, and then gave away a penalty when really it seemed an almost innocuous cross. Rowland for Swindon, beaten by Kevin Taylor. McCulloch is pulling wide against Tucker. Curran in the centre, support arriving from midfield. Kamara's flick and McHale's clearance. Free kick to Wednesday, foul by Williams on Hornsby. So Sheffield Wednesday now seek to retrieve the lead. McCulloch coming in at the back. And on the break it's Mays. Now he's taken him on for pace. And he's got past Pickering, and Mays is through. And Pickering, no, it's still Mays. Oh, how did he miss it in the end? He doesn't know himself, I don't think. Well, it was a tremendous run by Alan Mays. He got Pickering beaten for pace, but Pickering did just enough to put him off from shooting when he first wanted to. Mays retained possession, got a shooting chance again, but he couldn't hit the target. And I think Sheffield Wednesday are about to make a substitution. And we're going to see David Grant come off. He seems to have hurt his ribs, I think. Certainly holding his, just below his chest anyway. And on comes John Lowy, a striker who was once on Manchester United's books. And we'll just see how Sheffield Wednesday propose to reorganise now. Lowy's not really a left-back, but he's gone there for the time being. Williams, Mays, Kamara, but it was too embroidered really, the build-up, and Sheffield Wednesday first to the ball, and Jimmy Allen coming all the way to see it over the line for a goal kick. There's some Yorkshire grit about the way Sheffield Wednesday play away from home, no doubt about that. They don't stand on ceremony, they're quick into the tackle and the challenge, and they're very determined, as you can see from the faces. Mays is through. Good stop by Boulder. Just underlining how well the goalkeeper has played. His concentration has been first class. Very awkward bounce for the Wednesday defence. Mays was away, and Boulder prevented him from finishing it the way he wanted to. Rowland's in there. So was Blackwell for Wednesday. McHale. And now Mellor tries to put Curran away. Now, has he got the pace against McHale? He has. Can he beat Stroud? Taylor's in the centre. Still Curran all the way himself. Great run, and Taylor! And Wednesday are back in front. And Kevin Taylor has got the goal, his second of the week. He's fallen on the floor in delight. But it was made possible by Terry Curran, who really is having a quite outstanding season. He broke away there on the left. He had to beat McHale. Stroud came across. Taylor was making the run in the centre, and when Curran slipped the ball past Jimmy Allen, all Taylor had to say was thank you very much. And Sheffield Wednesday, with 6 minutes to go, are back in front at 2-1. And their supporters absolutely delighted. This is Mays. They wouldn't let him get the ball across. It was Hornsby in the way, but I think a free kick given. This surely is Swindon's last chance. Lewis and Rowland up together, Kevin Taylor away, and Curran, as the referee blows, fitting that Terry Curran should get the last touch, because it was his run, which Jack Charlton will no doubt say made all the difference to produce the winning goal. Sheffield Wednesday were twice in front. They got pegged back the first time by Ray McHale, a Sheffield lad, believe it or not, who brought the score back to 1-1 for Swindon from the penalty. But then, playing on the break, Sheffield Wednesday got the important goal 6 minutes from time and improved their very impressive away record as well as their promotion chances. For Swindon, a disappointment at home just 3 days before their League Cup semi-final second leg.
And perhaps that semi-final was on their minds today because they didn't seem to have their recent sparkle. But that in no way detracts from Sheffield Wednesday's fine and very valuable win. They defended stubbornly and broke venomously, which John Motson suggested to Jack Charlton was reminiscent of the Middlesbrough team that Jack built.
Well, it is a little bit, but you see, if you've got someone like Terry Curran, I mean, who had a disaster second half, and then suddenly you give him a ball in his own half and he gallops off like a Red Indian and runs a three-quarters length of field and sticks it in the back of the net, you know, that's the way to play. But, I mean, we don't do it deliberately. I want midfield people to get up and play. That's why I played young Ticker Taylor in the position I did, to get up and support Andy. And in fact, Ticker Taylor knocked the second goal in, and he could have scored a third one just a second later.
Jack, you won the Manager of the Year almost as soon as you got started in management at Middlesbrough, and I remember you saying then it was going to be hard to follow that, and having finished 14th in the third division the last couple of seasons, people probably think you've been out the limelight a bit. How ambitious are you still?
I'm very ambitious, you know. This is the biggest job in the country I've got. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday are the biggest club outside Wembley, really, and the potential is tremendous, and if I can make it work, we'll be the best in the business again, but I've got to make it work.
Well, let's hope that he does. And it was really a fascinating game today. Bob was watching it closely, and he was most impressed by Bob Boulder, the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper, only a young keeper, but it was really he, the turning point of that game, that saved them, and from that they went on to build their victory. Also the young centre-half, Mark Smith, a promising youngster too, so Jack's beginning to sort of pull it round in that area. But from the Swindon point of view, I'm very impressed with Alan Mays, although unluckily today it wasn't going to be the day on which he scored. But I reckon they're still going to give some clubs the trouble in that third division. Rest of news, Bob.
Well, it's been a good day all round for Sheffield, with United also winning 1-0 at home to Mansfield. Grimsby, who lost at Colchester last night, still lead on goal difference, but the pressure is on the top two because the four clubs immediately below them all won today. In the fourth division, Walsall dropped a home point to Darlington, but still keep their lead over Huddersfield, who also drew 1-1 at Port Vale. In fact, Portsmouth were the only winners in the top six, with Joe Laidlaw scoring twice in their 3-0 defeat of Rochdale. Well, there was some outstanding goal scoring in Division 2 as well, with Stan Cummins leading the way by getting 4 of Sunderland's 5 goals against Burnley. Keith Birching got a hat-trick in the space of 11 minutes as Birmingham beat Orient 3-1, and Vic Hallam scored twice in 5 minutes to give Oldham a 2-1 victory over Luton, who had defender Kirk Stevens sent off. An own goal by Queen's Park Rangers defender Bob Hazel gave West Ham victory over their promotion rivals, and a second-half effort by Mel Sutton was enough to give Wrexham 2 points against Newcastle. And Chelsea bounced back from last Saturday's home defeat by Shrewsbury to win 3-2 at Watford. Ian Bolton missed an injury-time penalty for the home side. That all leaves the top of the table looking like this. Leicester are now a point clear after drawing at Fulham. Chelsea goes second above Newcastle on goal difference, with Luton a further point away. Well, pools and the dividend forecast is good, with 10 score draws. Claimed by Telegram for 24 points, and the numbers you need are 5, 29, 39, 40, 43, 44, 47, 48, 49 and 52. Jim.
Now the result of the January Goal of the Month competition. The panel voted Goal B by John Robertson into third place, Alan Ball's cheeky goal against Manchester City into second, but the January Goal of the Month, after a lot of discussion, I can tell you, is Osvaldo Ardias' extra-time winner against Manchester United.
3 minutes to go. No score in the match so far. Number 7, Ardias. It's there!
The winning postcard with the letters CEB came from Frank Gaskell of Bolton, Lancashire. Well, what a programme we've had for goals, and a few